The latest episode of Tyler Perry's Sistas has left fans stunned, heartbroken, and in deep conversation. Season 9, Episode 10 wasn't just another installment filled with drama, betrayal, and the usual roller coaster of emotions. It was a turning point in Zach and Fatima's relationship. For the first time, we witnessed Fatima peel back her layers and tell Zach the raw truth about her feelings regarding the stillborn, Karen, and the unrelenting chaos that has surrounded their love since the very beginning. It was a moment fans have both dreaded and anticipated. The night when Fatima's unspoken exhaustion finally spilled into words. And though her confession was brutal, it was also heartbreakingly human. The scene, calm before the storm. The episode's pivotal moment began quietly. Zach and Fatima sat together on the same couch in their living room. No shouting, no walls between them, just two lovers weighed down by the heaviness of life. For weeks, Zach had been caught up in the swirl of external battles. Karen's lingering presence, his guilt over the stillborn, the constant push and pull of custody fights, and even Jeremiah's downward spiral. But in that quiet moment, he turned to Fatima and finally asked the question he had avoided for too long. "I never really asked you how you felt about all of this. About me, about Karen, about the baby. Is there anything you want to get off your chest?" It was a simple question, but it opened the floodgates to one of the most emotionally charged scenes of the season. Fatima's confession, the words she couldn't hide anymore. Fatima took a deep breath, her voice trembling with both fear and release. For weeks, she had carried a secret, something she had only confessed to Danny in private, never to Zach himself. She looked Zach in the eyes and admitted, "When I found out the stillborn was yours, I was relieved." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. For viewers, it was déjà vu, a reminder of the earlier scene where she had told Danny the very same thing. Back then, she didn't know Zach was quietly listening from the stairs, his heart silently breaking. Now, the truth was out in the open, face to face. Fatima didn't stop there. She went deeper, explaining that her relief didn't come from a lack of love for Zach or from not wanting a child with him. Instead, it came from a place of exhaustion, a place where she knew a baby would have been one more weight added to their already heavy lives. "Zach, I'm exhausted. From Karen, from your past, from Jeremiah, from all the drama that just keeps coming at us. I don't even get to breathe anymore. If that baby had lived, it would have brought more drama, more pain, more people coming at us. And I couldn't take it. I know that sounds cold, but it's the truth." Zach's silent heartbreak. As Fatima spoke, Zach's face told its own story. Pain. Shock. A quiet acknowledgement that he had already heard these words once before. When Fatima originally confided in Danny, Zach was hiding on the stairs, his heart breaking at the thought that the woman he loved most in the world was relieved about losing his child. Now, hearing it again, directly from her lips, was like reopening an old wound. But instead of exploding in anger or lashing out, Zach sat still. He didn't argue. He didn't accuse. He just listened. And that silence spoke volumes. This wasn't the silence of indifference. It was the silence of a man realizing, maybe for the first time, just how much his partner had been suffering. Fatima's humanity on full display. For so long, Fatima has been portrayed as Zach's rock, the strong, unshakable woman who held him down through Karen's chaos, through financial struggles, through family drama. But in this moment, her armor cracked. She wasn't Zatima's warrior anymore. She was a woman drained, weary, and brutally honest. Fans couldn't help but feel the weight of her words. This wasn't a rejection of Zach, but a cry for help. Her confession showed us that Fatima isn't invincible. She's not immune to burnout. And sometimes love doesn't erase exhaustion. It only makes it heavier when the relationship feels like an endless battlefield. The emotional complexity. The beauty of this scene lies in its complexity. Fatima's words are both shocking and relatable. On the surface, saying you were relieved about a stillborn might sound heartless. But the truth behind her statement is layered. She wasn't relieved to lose a child. She was relieved not to have to carry yet another burden in a life already full of chaos. She was admitting what so many women fear to say out loud, that sometimes the idea of motherhood in the middle of crisis feels more like drowning than blessing. This wasn't just about a baby. It was about her sanity, her survival, and her desperate need for peace in a world where she never gets to exhale. What this means for Zatima. The big question now is, where does Zach and Fatima's relationship go from here? Zach has always wanted to be the provider, the protector, the man who finally gets it right after years of wrong turns. But what happens when he realizes the woman he loves most doesn't want another burden added to their relationship, even if that burden was his child? Will Zach see this as rejection? Or will he finally understand that what Fatima needs isn't another fight, but rest, support, and peace? The episode left us with no easy answers. Just Zach's quiet pain and Fatima's raw honesty hanging between them. Fan reactions and theories. Social media exploded after the episode aired. Some fans sided with Fatima, praising her for being real about her limits. Others felt heartbroken for Zach, who has fought so hard to move on from his past only to be hit with another emotional blow. Many are speculating that this could lead to one of two things. 1. A deeper bond between Zatima, built on a new level of honesty. 2. Or the beginning of a slow unraveling if Zach can't handle the truth of Fatima's confession. The road ahead. What's certain is that Sistas has once again reminded us why Zatima is the beating heart of the series. Their love story isn't a fairy tale. It's messy, complicated, heartbreaking, and yet deeply human. Season 9 episode 10 gave us something raw, a couple stripped down to their truth. Fatima admitted her relief, Zach sat in silent pain, and the world of Sistas shook once more. As we look ahead, fans will be watching closely. Will Zach step up and give Fatima the peace she craves? Or will this revelation be the wedge that changes their story forever? One thing is for sure, this conversation will echo throughout the rest of the season.